Page 119, this is number 4 at the bottom, study in sixths. Sixth is referring to an interval of a sixth. If you look at the right hand, you see those notes are a sixth apart. That's what you're doing. You're moving in a sixth. So look it over, it's 3 lines long, treble, bass, clef, no sharps or flats in the key signature, so it's either in the key of C major or A minor. In this case it ends here. Figure it's in C major. If you're doing scales, do them both. C major and A minor, 1 octave. Okay. I should say, or whatever your teacher is having you do. Most of the people who watch my videos don't have a teacher, and that's unfortunate, but they don't for whatever reason. So, but if you have a teacher, do what your teacher tells you to do. And 3 8-time signatures, so an eighth note gets a count. Explains all the eighth notes, I guess. Remember the dotted quarter notes, the same as 3 8 notes. So here it's going to get 3 counts. Now we can't have anything bigger than a dotted quarter note. Half notes are not allowed or anything like that. No, because you can't have any note that's bigger than 3 8 notes. And that dotted quarter note is the biggest one there is. Right hand first, let's see, 6. We already said that. 1, 2, 3. Just come down 1 note. Now, there are other fingers I'd like to suggest, but we need to get this first, so we'll just leave it this fingering what's shown here. Flex at the wrist on this. Don't tense up, because you want to hold that position. Then you're going to hold it. You tense up. Flex at the wrist when you do that. Keep the arm still. If you're having trouble, then for practice, exaggerate that. But when you're playing it, it's a small motion. And don't hurt yourself when you exaggerate stuff. Just come down. Now, again, when I have multiple notes in a hand, and they're moving around, and the pattern is identical, the field is identical, what I do is I aim 1 finger, and I let any of the other fingers just go along. And you should be able to do any finger. Normally I do the melody if I know what the melody is. Here I'm not sure where the melody is. Maybe it's the top note. If it is, I'm going to aim that. I'm going to focus, concentrate on that one, hold my hand in that position, the thumb should behave itself. I'm thinking about the little finger, but for practice you ought to do them both, so focus on the thumb. And then let the little finger go along. Just make sure you're flexing at the wrist, because if you start tensing up, that won't work. Left hand, well, you're here. It's a broken C chord. Just recognize those notes in the couple measures. Now 4. Okay, let's talk about that. It's quite common in fingering. When you're looking for a fingering, how do I do this? When you have to change hand positions to get ready for what's coming, you will do it on repeated notes, and that's what they're doing here. You have the dotted quarter G. Now we have another G coming up, but I need to be in this position to accommodate those notes. So I'm going to change. The second G is here. I got to lift up anyway. It's a repeated note, so I just as well change while I'm at it. And during the rest, I would reach down, because that next note in the note in measure 6 is an octave. And then I can collapse. I like to feel my way around when I'm doing this. You can stay there and just lift up and move if you'd rather, but I reach down and then collapse. I wish they'd stop doing this, but they're doing it, so okay. Measure 6, you got the F sharp. In measure 7, that G is tied, so you can hold that down for 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 1, and then you go on. The natural sign in measure 8, they don't need to be there. I really kind of wish they'd leave it out. It's a natural anyway. This is getting they're being a little too helpful, because then you're going to start depending on that. A lot of publishers will not give you a natural sign there. Just, it's a natural. And then the C is tied for 4 counts. And then we got that repeated G again. And then reach down. Okay, put the hands together. Now we got this, sort of, I guess. We're starting here. Now I gotta do this here, but I'm connecting this. last C, or the last note in measure 5, is by itself. The left hand has a rest. And now measure 8. That's tied, and it's 1, 2, 3. So measure 7. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Like that. So I put the hands together at whatever speed right now. Keep it slow. Then go back and get rid of the hesitations and try and do as much of this without looking at the keyboard also. So you can feel this without looking eventually. You have to look at first. And this, we want to be able to do that eventually without looking too. The key word there is eventually. Then the articulation, and here it's pretty connected. They only give you these. They don't give you any phrasing or anything for the right hand. It's almost like every 2 measures in the right hand is a phrase. I don't know this. And these in the left hand, those could be phrases too. And the phrases are overlapping. Now it's like, okay, we have a duet. Well, that comes in handy because we need to understand that when we do the dynamics. It's mezzo forte at the beginning. It's one dynamic. The dynamic applies to the melody. If the right hand is melody and the left hand isn't, then the right hand is that, and the left hand's light. But if they're both melody, they're both the same. It's like a duet. Yeah. So it makes a difference on how you interpret it as to where the melody is. I'm going to treat this as both hands being the melody. It's kind of fun that way. You do it however you see fit, but that's how I'm going to do it. Then the speed, allegretto. Well, it's again the feel, the eighth notes. My allegretto for now. Let's see how that works a little later. Remember the natural accent? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Feel these. Exaggerate it if you need to. Feel these natural accents too. I'm exaggerating them so you can hear them better, but really just feel them. Let's play this together very slowly and check the notes and the rhythms. I'll give us 3 counts. 1, ready, go.